If you want to lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit. In this video, I'm going to go through a few methods on how you can get there. So first off, a calorie is just a unit of energy. You can get into that calorie deficit by either decreasing the energy that is coming in or the calories that are coming in, or increase the energy that you expend out. So calories in include anything that you eat, drink, and the calories that you expend are anything from your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, your resting metabolic rate, and the exercise that you do, so resistance training, walking, Pilates, anything that is active. Me standing here actually burns calories. The thermic effect of food, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, just to name a few. When my clients come to me wanting to lose fat, I often tell them that we're going to have to likely eat less and move more. Yes, you can either do one or the other to see effects, but you're also going to be limited on what you can handle. You only have a certain amount of time to exercise throughout the day. So you're not going to be spending hours burning those calories in the gym just because you ate burger and fries and pizza for lunch and you had a milkshake frappuccino of some sort, right? It is very difficult to out-train a bad diet. That's why I always tell everybody you need both to have a successful fat loss phase. On the other side of the spectrum, if you are eating little calories, yes, you are going to be losing fat. You're going to be losing weight on the scale especially. But what that's going to do is going to slow down your metabolic rate, especially if you are not resistance training. As a result, that is why, once again, I tell everybody to incorporate both exercise piece of it and make sure their diet is in check so that you can have the most successful fat loss phase ever. You don't necessarily have to count your calories or track your macros in order to be in that deficit. A lot of people mix that up and think they need to be counting calories in order for them to lose fat and lose weight. Well, you do need some sort of baseline of what you are eating so that you understand where you can pull your calories from, where to maybe increase the food volume, where to increase some protein, and add a little bit of exercise. I do say that macro and calorie counting is the best and most effective way of getting yourself into a calorie deficit because you know what you are eating, you know what you're consuming, and it's very objective. What I get my clients to do when they first start working with me is just tell me a little bit more about who they are, what they've tried in the past, and what they are currently doing, and kind of write down what they are eating so that I get a good sense of what they are currently doing and how I can progress them from there. Because that's what they're currently doing to maintain their weight. So once they do record what they do eat, maybe for a few days, or they give me an idea of what they eat, I can then take, their weight, their height, their history, what they do for a living. I can take all that into consideration and then decide what their starting initial macros are going to be. So you see, I don't even get them to really track what they're eating. They just give me a rough estimate of what they are eating, and then from there, I make the necessary calculations. And even just by writing stuff out, you can definitely get a good sense of where you could be improving your diet. As for the exercise piece, you need to base it off whatever you can handle in your current situation. So if you tell me that you are a shift worker and you work nights and you are tired, well then I'm probably not going to make you go into the gym physically like an hour per day. Okay, I think that may be unrealistic for some people, but let's talk about what you can handle. Maybe 3 days a week of 30 minutes is what you can handle in this situation. And then when your lifestyle does change, I make the proper adjustments to your plan so that you can keep on progressing. Now, I always say that healthy fat loss is anywhere between 0 to 1 pound of fat loss per week, and that is ideal. If you are doing everything that you are asked, you are getting back to me with any questions that you may have, that is what you can expect. And from there, we have, weekly check-ins where I determine how many calories, what macros should increase, which macros should decrease based upon the results results of your check-in. What that means for you is you need to be kind of setting in place some structure with yourself. You got to be your own accountability. Take your photos, and generally, 250 calories initial drop in food is a good place to start. A lot of people say that 500 calories just shaved off your diet initially is a great starting point. And yes, you will see results. But my question to you is, can you sustain that for a prolonged period of time? Because what you need to know is the body is very adaptive, okay? And what that means is if you drop 500 calories off of what you are currently eating, you're gonna have to either do more exercise in the further weeks, or you're gonna have to eat less, okay? Because you want to continue on losing body fat, right? So if we start and I drop you 250 calories, well, you may have slower results, but those results are going to be a lot more sustainable. Now, let's say you're not a numbers person, don't really want to track. I would suggest that you stick to high volume foods. High volume eating, what this means is you're eating a lot of foods for little calories, a lot of cucumbers, zucchini, a lot of things that fill you up and expand the stomach. But because what this does is send a signal to your brain that you are full and you are satisfied. Paired with proteins especially, and a little bit of fat can definitely go a long way. Think about it. A tablespoon of olive oil has like 90 calories, okay? Think about eating 90 calories worth of olives and how much more full and satisfied you will feel from that. Another habit I would suggest for you if you want to get into a calorie deficit but don't necessarily want to track your calories is to just drink more water. You would be surprised of how little water you drink. I would say especially before meals and sipping through it during your meal, because it will help, again, help you feel more full, satisfied, leading you to stay in that caloric deficit a lot longer than you probably would have. A lot of calorie reduction has to do with appetite management. And one thing that can really help with this is protein. It has the highest thermic effect of food because it takes the longest for your body to digest, and your body burns a little bit more calories and carbs and fat while digesting it. So that is one of the reasons why I harp so much on protein, okay? It is so important, of course, to build muscle, which you need to increase your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate, so that you burn more calories at rest. But of course, it will help you feel full and satisfied, especially when you pair it with carbs, fat, and fiber. Those are just some tips. And if you are just the average person who has a regular job, work life, has a social life, and just wants to get more fit, that's why I would suggest you getting into that caloric deficit just by changing some diet habits. Research has shown that it is a lot more difficult to sustain your results, to decrease the amount of fat on your body just through exercise alone without any manipulation towards your diet, because it's really difficult to exercise for 3 or 4 hours per day like some athletes do, right? And I don't know about you, but the people that I work with, at least, they're not ultra marathoners, ultra athletes right now. And so we always take a more detailed approach when it comes to diet. But of course, exercise is a huge piece of it as well. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye.